this Kapha balancing practice. While we will be hitting on some marma points that will help us focus in on Vata dosha and Pitta dosha, we will be mostly focusing on Kapha dosha now that we're finishing up winter time and moving into springtime. So that's a lot of what we'll be focusing on this practice. What you'll need is a rolled up towel, blanket, or mat, a block, a strap or an exercise band, resistance band, and some space at a wall that you can practice on. So make sure to get all those things and meet you right back here. So now that you're here, go ahead and find a comfortable seat on the floor or on a block. Place one hand onto your belly and one hand onto your upper chest, just below your collarbones. And close your eyes. Start by taking deep, slow inhales. Inhaling for a count of even 10. And elongating your breath, even for a count of 10. Feel for ballooning your breath down into your belly and up your chest. And as you exhale, simply feel for a little collapsing, natural downward movement of your body, your torso, your shoulders. Feel for on the inhale how there's a natural lifting through the torso, up through the shoulders. The intent for this practice is to do a little spring cleaning. So the way that we'll practice this is actually, I want you to feel in, as you exhale here, if there's somewhere that is almost resistant to you collapsing. Resistant to that downward movement of your torso. As you think about all of the things that you've moved through over this past year, and even over the past few months, everything you've felt, all the little ways you've changed, think of all of the things that have changed inside of you, and patterns that you might still be holding on to. Patterns that, hopefully, you're ready to kind of see transform, to see go. So focus on this one area that seems to be a little resistant to that collapse, to that resting phase of your exhale. And place one or both hands onto that area. For me, I find that my solar plexus often gets tight, rigid. And even when I want to let myself relax and collapse down, there's still this holding there. So place your hands onto that one spot. And oftentimes it's actually very difficult to just let go, to let things go. And even anatomically, this is sometimes actually impossible. Sometimes there's little ways, little places within our connective tissue that we've collapsed, that we've moved out of, that has kind of gone offline. And so because one place has always collapsed, another place, another set of muscles will always have to hold us up. And so this practice isn't so much about forcing a let go. It's not about that. Really, the spring cleaning is going to be more of like a dusting off. To go and visit that spot in your body with your breath, and to just visit the edges with your breath. And as you visit those tight edges, What else can you notice? What else comes online for you? So maybe you notice that there's actually tension hiding somewhere else that's being overlooked. Or there may be areas where are very difficult to feel. So throughout this practice, I'll be asking you to breathe into this spot so that you can explore working with its edges. You don't need anything from this spot. You don't need it to change. But just by breathing in new life, something throughout your tissue will be able to move, will be able to shift. Open your eyes. So our first posture will be Baddha Konasana with heart opener. For Baddha Konasana with heart opener, bring the soles of your feet to touch and bring your hands behind your hips. Press gently into the ground with your hands. Press your outer edges of your feet gently into the ground. Inhale and lift the torso up. Feel for continuing that breath pattern from belly up into upper chest. And exhale, feel for that gentle collapse. We'll practice 40 rounds of Kapalabhati here. So short, sharp exhales, pulling the diaphragm in and up. Keeping your chest up, take a huge inhale from bottom to top of your torso. Begin to exhale and practice 40 rounds of Kapalabhati. Go. Relax your face as you keep going. Gently continue to press into your hands and lift your torso up. Gently feel for dropping your knees down. And finish up. Take a huge inhale from belly up to chest. Hold the breath. Place your hands in front of your shins. Exhale, pull belly muscles in, relax chin to chest. Hold the breath out. Pull belly muscles in and up for Uddiyana Bandha. Relax the belly. Inhale, draw your torso up. Exhale through the mouth. Take a breath into your spot. Set up for one-legged straddle. So open the left leg out to the side. And right leg can stay bent in Baddha Konasana, which is actually going to provide interesting new sensation. Or if this is very uncomfortable for you, you can also bring the right foot into the left thigh. So whichever you choose, bring your hands back into heart opener for another 40 rounds of Kapalabhati. Feeling for pulling your belly muscles up and away from your hip. So, big inhale. And 40 rounds of Kapalabhati. Go. Feel for the nuance of sensation as you pull belly muscles in and away from your hips. Keep going. Finish up. And change sides, coming back through Baddha Konasana, and opening up the right leg into a half straddle. Also option to bring the sole of the left foot into the right thigh. Press your torso up and away from the floor. Huge inhale. And exhale, go for 40 rounds of Kapalabhati on your own. Go. Relax your face. Feel the connection of your fingertips on the ground as you keep going here. Now finish up. From here, bring both legs into straddle. Chest is still in heart opener. Gently press through the heels of your hands and press the palms of your hands down into the ground. Now, lighten that press. So press about 50%. Collapse a little bit into your hands. Feel how the earth is actually holding you up beneath you. Huge inhale from your belly up to your upper chest. 40 rounds of Kapalabhati here in straddle. Go. Once you finish up, take a huge breath, fill up with air. Place hands in front of your thighs, in between the legs. Relax chin to chest. Exhale, blow all of your air out. Uddiyana Bandha. Pull belly muscles in and up. Drawing belly away from your hips. Relax the belly. Press gently into your hands and inhale, draw the torso up. Exhale, collapse down a little bit. Now take a huge breath into your spot for a count of 10. Exhale, releasing downwards for a count of 10. Place your hands onto either sides of your thighs to bring your feet in together. And from here, come up to a stand. Once in standing, open your legs out for a horse stance, also known as goddess. So bend your knees about 90 degrees. And for this first version, we're actually going to be playing with finding where in your belly is actually compensating. So where you're maybe doing too much. So I'll lift my shirt up so you can watch me first. You can stay in horse stance and turn up your fire. So what I'll be practicing is 5 rounds of Kapalabhati here, so that I can actually just look down at my belly. And I would also recommend you lifting up your shirt to see where your belly muscles most pull in. And once I have that place, I'm going to actually place fingers onto that, press the tissue inwards to take it out of being able to do all of the work. So, lift your shirt up and look down at your belly. Relax your arms down. And practice 5 rounds of Kapalabhati, 5 to 10, just to see where your belly muscles pull in the most. Go. So for me, I can recognize right here, this spot for me is where I naturally compensate the most when I'm practicing Kapalabhati. So press that tissue inwards. So in this way, you're pinning the tissue down and it can't do all of the work. Now, practice 20 rounds of Kapalabhati with this tissue pinned down. Huge inhale from belly up to upper chest. 20 rounds of Kapalabhati in horse stance. Go. Take a huge inhale, relax both of your arms down. Place your hands on the top of your thigh and gently press your hands into thigh. Exhale all of your air out. Uddiyana Bandha. Pull belly muscles in and up. Press hands into tops of thigh. Relax chin downwards. Release the belly. Take a huge inhale into your spot. Exhale, continue to press hands down into thighs. Huge inhale from belly up to the collarbones for a count of 10. Exhale, continue to press hands down, but actually allow the rest of your torso to collapse. And Feel if there's anywhere in your legs and your hands and your shoulders that is really holding on. Feel for just releasing that a little bit through another breath. Maybe even lifting your hips up a little. Take a huge breath, inhale, count of 10. Gently press hands into thighs. And exhale, feel for collapsing through the belly. Release the arms. And heel toe your feet back together. Lay down on your back, or watch me first for what we're going to be practicing. So what we're going to be practicing is actually internal oblique activation on a wall. So I would prefer you watch me first. For internal oblique activation on a wall, we'll be taking out any compensation in our hips so that we can focus on our core and building up enough heat, enough movement of prana to then send to your spot, to nourish it, and as well to send to those other areas that maybe have to kick on and compensate. So for this position, I'll be coming up to the wall and my knees will be about 90 degrees. From there, I actually want to set up so that my hips are further away from the wall, so that my knees are no longer 90 degrees. They're a little of a wider angle. The reason for this is the hip flexors actually turn on whenever I'm drawing my knee towards my chest, and we want to take the hip flexors out of this whole equation. So watch me first for internal oblique activation and external oblique activation. So for this, both arms are straight up. Huge inhale, spread the low back onto the floor. Exhale, draw the left knee right over left hip, no further. Press right hand into left knee. Pull belly muscles down. Inhale, bring the foot back to the wall, back to center. Hold the breath. Bend the right knee about 90 degrees. Left hand comes onto right knee. Pull belly muscles down. Exhale. Inhale, come back to center. So the crossing action, left hand onto right knee, is the internal oblique. For external oblique, what we'll be doing is huge inhale. Hold the breath. Bend the left knee just over the left hip. Left hand onto left knee. Exhale, press hand and knee into one another. Pull belly muscles down. Inhale, back to center. Hold the breath. Bend the right knee right over right hip. Right hand onto right knee. Press hand and knee together. Exhale, pull belly muscles down. Feel for the upper crease of right thigh moving in towards the ribs. Inhale, come back to center. The other option for your legs is to have them bent like this or to have them further straightened out to the wall. But let's set up for this together. So come to the wall and set up with your knees right over your hips on the wall. From there, scoot your hips back about 3 inches in the direction of your head and reset your back. So now you should be able to see your knees and see that your knees are not right over your hips. And ideally, as you lift one foot away from the wall, it's not coming beyond your hip. So we're actually trying to take the hip flexor out of this equation. Option to extend the legs or to leave knees slightly bent. Lift both arms up. Huge inhale into low belly. Press the low back down to the floor. Hold the breath. Bring right hand onto left knee. Left knee is bent. Exhale, pull belly muscles down. Press hand and knee into one another. Reach up through left fingertips. Inhale, come back to center. Hold the breath. Press the low back down. Bend the right knee right over right hip. Left hand onto right knee. Exhale, pull belly muscles down. Inhale, come back to center. Hold the breath. Press the low back down. Right hand onto left knee. Exhale, pull belly muscles down. Press hand and knee into one another gently. Reach up through left fingertips. Inhale, come back to center. Hold the breath. Press the low back into the mat. Bend right knee. Left hand comes onto right knee. Pull belly muscles down. Press hand and knee into one another. Reach up through right fingertips. Inhale, come back to center. Hold the breath. Press the low back into the ground. Exhale, cross right hand over to left knee. Pull belly muscles down. Gently press hand and knee into one another. Inhale, come back to center. Hold the breath. Press the low back down. Bend the right knee. Left hand onto right knee. Exhale, pull belly muscles down. Feel for the right hip moving up towards the right side of the chest. Inhale, come back to center. Hold the breath. Press the low back down. Bend the left knee right over left hip. Right hand crosses onto left knee. Exhale, pull belly muscles down. Reach left fingertips up. Inhale, come back to center. Hold the breath. Press the low back into the mat. Bend right knee 90 degrees. Left hand onto right knee. Exhale, pull belly muscles down. Reach right fingertips straight up. Gentle press. Pull belly muscles down and towards the midline. Inhale, come back to center. External oblique activation. So same side hand meets same side knee. Take a huge inhale. Hold the breath. Press low back down to the mat. Bend the left knee right over left hip. Left hand onto left knee. Exhale. Press hand and knee into one another. Pull belly muscles down. Inhale, come back to center position. Hold the breath. Press the low back down. Bend the right knee 90 degrees right over the right hip. Right hand onto right knee. Exhale, pull belly muscles down. Press hand and knee into one another. Relax your face. Inhale, come back to center. Hold the breath. Press the low back down. Bend left knee, left hand onto left knee. Exhale, pull belly muscles down. Keep gently pressing hand into knee. Inhale, come back to center. Hold the breath. Bend right knee, right over right hip. Right hand onto the knee. Press hand and knee in together. Exhale, pull belly muscles down. Reach through the left fingertips. Inhale, come back to center. Hold the breath. Bend left knee, left hand onto left knee. Gently press hand and knee into one another. Exhale, reach right fingertips up. Pull belly muscles down. Inhale, come back to center. Hold the breath. Press low back down. Bend the right knee, right hand onto right knee. Exhale, pull belly muscles down. Inhale, back to center. From here, lower hands down, lower feet down. We'll be practicing a next variation of elbow to knee on the wall. So bring your feet back up onto the wall. And if your knees were previously bent, now straighten the legs. Clasp the hands behind the head. Inhale, curl head and shoulders up off the mat. Hold the breath, press the low back down. Exhale, bend the left knee. Left knee goes no further than left hip. Send left elbows towards the left knee. Pull belly muscles down. Inhale, come back to the start position, straighten the left leg. Hold the breath. Press the low back into the mat. Bend right knee right over the right hip. Exhale, send both elbows above the right knee. Pull belly muscles down. Inhale, head and shoulders back to center, straighten the right leg. Hold the breath. Bend the left knee over the left hip. Exhale, send both elbows to its left knee. Pull belly muscles down. Inhale, head and shoulders back to center, straighten the left leg. Hold the breath. Bend the right knee right over the right hip. Exhale, send both elbows up towards the right knee. Pull belly muscles down. Inhale, come back to center. Hold the breath. Press low back into the ground. Bend left knee over the left hip. Exhale, send both elbows up towards left knee. Pull belly muscles down. Inhale, head and shoulders back to center, straighten the left leg. Hold the breath. Bend the right knee 90 degrees. Exhale, send both elbows up above right knee. Pull belly muscles down. Inhale, back to center. Head and shoulders back to center. Hold the breath. Press the low back down. Bend left knee 90 degrees. Exhale, send both elbows to the outer edge of left thigh. Pull belly muscles down. Inhale, head and shoulders back to center, straighten the left leg. Hold the breath. Press low back down.
Bend the right knee 90 degrees. Exhale, send both elbows to the outer edge of right thigh. Pull belly muscles down. Inhale, head and shoulders back to center. We'll add 2 parts in. Exhale everything out here. And lower the head and shoulders down. Take a huge feeling breath into your spot. Exhale, collapse into the ground. We'll add in a second part here to this abdominal work. Inhale, curl head and shoulders up. Hold the breath, press low back down, bend the left knee over left hip. Exhale, send both elbows towards left knee, pull belly muscles down. Inhale, bring right hand onto the right glute. Contract the right glute, and exhale, pull belly muscles down, send left elbow straight up. Inhale, come back to the start position. Hold the breath, press low back down, curl tailbone up slightly. Bend the right knee, right over the right hip. Exhale, both elbows above the right knee, pull belly muscles down. Inhale, left hand onto left glute, contract the left glute. And exhale, send the right armpit straight up. Pull belly muscles down. Inhale, come back to start position. Hold the breath, press the low back down. Bend the left knee over the left hip. Exhale, send both elbows above the left knee. Pull belly muscles down. Relax your face. Relax any excess tensing. Inhale, right hand onto right glute. Contract the right glute. Gently press the right foot into the wall. Exhale, send left elbow straight up. Pull belly muscles down. Inhale, come back to start position. Hold the breath. Press the low back down. Bend the right knee right over the right hip. Exhale, send both elbows above the right knee. Pull belly muscles down. Inhale, left hand onto left glute. Contract the left glute, gently press left foot into the wall. Exhale, send right armpit straight up, elbow straight up, pull belly muscles down. Inhale, come back to center, last one. Hold the breath, press the low back into the mat. Left knee bends over left hip. Exhale, send both elbows towards the outer edge of left thigh, pull belly muscles down. Inhale, right hand onto right glute. Contract the right glute, gently press the right foot into the wall. Exhale, pull belly muscles down. Send the left elbow straight up, left armpit up off the ground. Inhale, come back to center. Hold the breath. Press the low back into the ground. Right knee bends over right hip. Exhale, both elbows to the outer edge of right thigh. Pull belly muscles down and to the midline. Inhale, left hand onto left glute. Contract the left glute, gently press the left foot into the wall. Exhale, send right elbow and right armpit straight up towards the ceiling, pull belly muscles down. Inhale, come back to start position. Exhale, head down, feet down. Relax your arms to your side and take huge, deep, slow, nourishing breaths around your spot. Part of why we practice abdominals is to actually be able to circulate more prana. So notice if right now you're able to actually get a bigger, fuller breath. The abdominal muscles are essential for this deep breath. And they're also where we store our Agni, where we store our heat, our fire, that today, to help us do this spring cleaning, we're turning up. From here, roll off onto one side and press up to a seated position. From here, I'd like you to reach for your block. So for a bridge on a block, this is where we're headed. Come back to your back, lay back down. And for bridge on a block, you can watch me first if you're not familiar with where we're going. I'll be exhaling, pressing through the heels, lifting my hips up. Chest moves in the direction of my chin. I'll place the block at the highest setting that feels comfortable for me underneath the sacrum. Continue to gently press the floor away with your feet and relax arms down by your side. So to come out of this pose, you'll exhale, press the hips up off the block, and then slowly lower upper, middle, and lower back down. We'll be practicing wrist stretches in bridge on a block. So let's move into bridge on a block together. From your knees bent, walk your feet out 1 foot length forward and 1 foot width to the side. Turn your toes out slightly. Huge inhale, feel your low back on the floor. Exhale, press through your heels and the outer edges of your feet to lift the hips up. Place the block on the tallest setting that feels right for you, underneath your hips. Relax arms down by your side. Continue to gently press through your hips and through your feet.
And as you stay there, I'll walk you through wrist stretches. So bring the left hand straight up, palm facing towards the ceiling in bridge in a block. Grab onto your pinky finger and pull back slightly. Inhale and reach the heel of your hand up towards the ceiling. Exhale, gently pull the pinky finger towards the forearm. Grab onto ring finger and pull back slightly. Inhale and reach the heel of your hand away. Spread the bones and muscles of your hand. Exhale, gently pull ring finger back towards the forearm. Grab onto middle finger and pull back slightly. Inhale, continue to press down through your feet and continue to press the heel of your hand up towards the ceiling. Exhale, draw middle finger back slightly towards the forearm. Grab onto pointer finger and pull back slightly. Inhale into your heart. Exhale, reach through the heel of your hand, pull pointer finger back. From here, grab onto your thumb, backs of hands come to meet, and gently grab onto your left thumb. Inhale, give your thumb a little wiggle, and exhale, pull your thumb down towards the left side of your forearm. Reach through the bones and muscles of your fingers. Now change sides. Reach the palm of the right hand straight up towards the ceiling. Grab onto little finger, pull back slightly. Inhale, balloon your breath into your belly and up into your heart. Exhale, reach through the heel of right hand, pull right pinky finger back. Grab onto ring finger, pull back slightly. Take a huge inhale. And exhale, spread the bones and muscles of your hand. Pull ring finger back towards the forearm. Bring fingers now onto middle finger. Pull back slightly. Inhale into your heart. Exhale, press through the heel of your hand. Draw middle finger back towards the forearm slightly. Grab onto pointer finger, pull back slightly. Huge breath, spread the bones and muscles of your hand. Exhale, gently pull pointer finger back towards your wrists. Place the back of the hands touching one another and grab onto right thumb and give it a little wiggle. Take a huge breath, press down through your feet. Exhale, draw the thumb in the direction of the right side of your forearm. Stretch through the bones and muscles of your hands. Inhale, come back to center. Relax both arms down by your side. And to come out of this pose, where we'll be headed, is tucking your tailbone up towards the ceiling and pressing your hips up off the block, grabbing for the block and removing it. Now take 2 breaths to slowly, as you exhale, collapse the upper back, middle back, and over your next exhale, collapse down your middle back, low back, and tailbone. Once you're fully on the ground, take a huge breath, cleaning up the space and the edges around the spot you've chosen. And notice how much you've already moved just up until now. From here, roll off onto the right side and press up with the relaxed neck. Place the right hand onto the right side of face and inhale, lift the head up. Come onto all fours for cat-cow. Now that you're in cat-cow, inhale, moving to the cow position, the back bend phase. Exhale,
press gently through your hands, tuck your tailbone down, press up through the shoulder blades. And practice that for about another 3 breaths to feel for where, as you go into the back bend phase, cow part of the pose, where along your spine feels a little more tight, like it's inhibiting your movement. Feel for that one area. For me, for example, right here along my spine feels a little tighter as I move into the back bend phase. So come back into neutral and draw your awareness just onto that one spot. And inhale, balloon your breath into that spot as if only that spot were lifting. Your back stays neutral. Exhale, feel for that spot collapsing down. Inhale, balloon your breath into that spot. Exhale, release through your belly. Take one more huge breath into that one spot along your spine. This is the multifidus muscle. Exhale, collapse through the belly. Go back into cat-cow, feeling if as you move into the back bend phase, if there's a difference in sensation in your back. And practice one more breath there, and then press back to your heels. From here, we'll actually be massaging a key point that is along a channel of the body that connects into the lungs. So extend both of your forearms out in front of you. Bring your right hand onto your left elbow, so right on the left elbow, and then walk it down about 3 fingers down the elbow towards the wrist. Once you've identified that spot, I'd like you to place your thumb there and just practice little circular motions with your thumb on this area, gently pressing down. So oftentimes as we want to work with our wrists, today we'll be moving through down dog, through some practices of down dog on the wall. You actually want to be able to release any tension in this area. Because sometimes if you feel pressure on your hands, it's actually tension here. And it's relating to tension further up in your chest, which is where we're heading next. Go ahead and change sides. So once again, from the elbow, the very elbow joint, 3 fingers moving down towards the wrist, and then placing my thumb in that area. Really relaxing your forearm down, and practice gentle circles in the direction of the elbow. You may feel somewhere that's tender, and this may not feel tender for you today. Just feel around the place you've chosen, all the way up towards the elbow joint. So sometimes there's little places in our bodies that get tight or stuck, or we even get stuck in one type of down dog. We think there's one perfect alignment. But actually, to nourish ourselves, to really do some spring cleaning, we need to mix up our patterns. We need to mix up how we move our fascia, how we move our tissue. Release both hands down. So from here, we'll move into turbo dog. So for turbo dog, this is a version of down dog where we're actually wrapping the shoulders. So come back on all fours, and you can watch me first. For this version of down dog, which is turbo dog, I'll have my hands right underneath the shoulders, then walk the hands one hand's length forward. Bend the elbows about 45 degrees. Inhale, relax the head and expand the upper back. Tuck the toes under and exhale, press back, straighten the legs. My elbows are still bent. Send your breath into your core. Feel for lifting the hips up as you keep the elbows bent. And if there's anywhere that's wobbling, how might you remove your feet to somewhere where you can get more stability? Have as much of your foot on the ground as you can. And feel how this changes your capacity, A, to take a breath, and B, to gently press the ground away with your hands. And press more weight back into your strong legs. Take another nourishing breath into your spot, nourishing it with this fire that you're stoking.
that you always have at your access. Exhale, drop the knees down.
We'll now move into dolphin. So watch me first for the setup for dolphin, and then we'll do this together. At any point today, whenever we do any work on the wall, if you're just not feeling it in your wrists and you don't want to do down dog on the wall, for example, you can always do dolphin on the wall. So always ask yourself, what of this can I do? Sometimes it's not so much about collapsing in the ways where you give up, right? Sometimes that might even come because we are pushing too hard somewhere. So if you're pushing too hard into your hands and your wrists, and that makes you want to give up, don't put yourself in that mode. Try dolphin instead. So to set up for dolphin, I'll bring the forearms down to the ground, to the mat, and grab for the upper biceps with the hands to set my elbows up in the right position. Forearms can be down with the hands facing down, shoulder injured people, palms facing up, or as well, I personally am still working with having little finger side of hand down, thumb facing up. Always an option as well, especially for shoulder injured anyone, to clasp your hands. Wherever you've chosen for your hands,
relax the neck. Inhale, spread the upper back and press your forearms down into the ground. Tuck the toes under. Exhale, straighten the legs. So we'll practice this together.
Set up for dolphin. Bring your forearms down to your mat and grab for upper biceps with your arms. Setting up for the proper position, the proper distance of your elbows. Place the forearms down onto the mat, palms facing down or facing up, little finger side of hand down, thumb facing up, or clasp your hands. Wherever you've chosen,
relax the neck. Relax your chin towards chest. Inhale, press down through your elbows and as much of your forearm down into the mat as you can. Tuck the toes under and exhale, straighten your legs. Once again, walk your feet into any position where you might feel more stability, where you might feel like you can get more of your foot onto the ground. This helps mix up the ways that you're moving your fascia, the ways you're moving your connective tissue. And by mixing up the way you may be so used to moving your connective tissue, you have the chance to breathe new energy into your spot. So practice here in dolphin, breathing new energy for the next 4 breaths into your spot. Continue to press your wrists, your hands, your elbows down into the mat. And shift your chest in the direction of your thighs. And after 4 breaths, exhale, drop the knees down to the mat.
and sit back on your heels. So as I said, at any point in this practice, feel free to, instead of down dog on the wall positions, try with dolphin. Try that setup. It's up to you. So since you're the one spring cleaning your body, do what feels best for you today. We'll now come to standing at the top of the mat. For B series, with 3 pose vignettes. Inhale, sit back into chair. Exhale, forward bend. Hands down to the mat. Relax chin to chest. Inhale, step or walk back into plank. Exhale, modify chaturanga or chaturanga. Lower all the way down to the mat. Inhale, baby cobra, elbows underneath shoulders. And tuck your tailbone down, tuck your toes down. Inhale, lift elbows off the ground about 2 inches. Draw the chest forward. Draw shoulder blades back towards one another. Exhale, draw chest forward to come down. Hands underneath shoulders. Press back into down dog. Warrior 1, kite hawk. Inhale, step the left foot forward and come up into a warrior 1 position. Hips are squared forward. Arms straight up. For kite hawk position, inhale here, and exhale, revolve the palms of your hands outward. Inhale, revolve the palms of your hands towards one another. and even back towards the wall behind you. Exhale, revolve hands forward and to the outside. Inhale, revolve hands in. As you continue this motion with your breath, feel for isolating movement in your shoulder joints. Feel for getting to breathe new life into this shoulder mobility. Pyramid. Inhale, straighten the left leg, and exhale, fold forward. Arms are reaching out towards the top of your mat. From here, bring left hand onto the lower back, and feel for pressing the low back down. Inhale, lengthen through the torso, lengthen through the right arm. Option to exhale, bring right hand down to the mat, or as well, to have it on your low back, tractioning the tissue of your low back towards your glutes. Inhale, feel for telescoping your ribs away from your hips. Exhale, feel for a gentle collapse in your torso. And if there's anywhere in your legs that's screaming at you, how might you move in a way that allows you to not have to put so much tension there? Standing splits. Inhale, bend the left knee, bring hands down to the mat in front of the left foot. Exhale, kick the right foot straight up into the ceiling. Inhale, lower the right leg down just a bit, and exhale, lift the right heel up through the ceiling. Inhale, lower the leg down just a bit. Exhale, kick the right heel up towards the ceiling. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, kick up. Practice that for 2 more breaths. There's a lot of energy that we store in our glutes and our legs. We're going to access that so we can help wash out the core. From here, step the back foot back. Press straight back into plank. And exhale, come all the way down. Cobra push-ups with a roll between the thighs. So for Cobra push-ups with a roll between the thighs, you'll need your rolled up towel or mat. Place it between the thighs at the height of the pubic bone. And for Cobra push-ups, bring your elbows underneath the shoulders, fingertips out in front of you. Cobra push-ups, inhale, draw the chest forward, draw shoulder blades back, elbows off the ground about 1 or 2 inches. And exhale, lower down. Inhale, draw the chest forward and up as you balloon your breath into your belly. Exhale, draw chest forward to come down. Gently press the upper edges of your thighs together into the roll, and inhale, lift up in belly. Exhale, come back down. Press the top edges of your thighs down towards the mat. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, come down. Inhale and feel for your belly inflating, and that being what actually lifts you up. Exhale, come all the way down. Rest one side of the cheek down onto the mat. Remove the rolled up blanket, mat, or towel, and press straight back into down dog. Once again, when you're here in down dog, feel for, can you move your feet into a position that is more nourishing for you right now, today. Take a big breath into your spot. Warrior 1, kite hop. Inhale, step the right foot forward and come up into a warrior 1 position. On your next exhale, revolve your hands, palms out to the side. Inhale, revolve palms towards one another and even facing back behind you. Inhale, revolve the hands up and forward. Exhale, revolve palms towards one another. Keep going like this for the next 2 breaths, closing your eyes, feeling for sensation in your shoulders. Feeling for your feet gently holding you on the ground. pyramid with back traction. Straighten the right leg, and inhale, telescope the ribs up. Exhale, draw torso forward, reach through the fingertips. Bring right hand onto the low back, and traction gently the low back and the sacrum towards the glutes, down towards the floor. For left hand, option to continue reaching out to bring both hands to low back, or left hand even down to a mat or to a block. Take a huge breath into your spot here. Exhale, feel for your torso gently collapsing down a bit. Use your breath to draw the energy from your strong legs up into your spot. Exhale, gently press your hand into your sacrum to traction the tissue down. Standing splits. Bring both hands to either side of the front leg, bend the right knee. Inhale, shift weight forward, and exhale, lift the left heel straight up. Pendulums, inhale, lower the left leg down just a bit. Exhale, reach the left heel straight up. Inhale, lower the left leg down just a bit. Exhale, lift through the heel to lift the leg up. Inhale, lower down just a bit. Exhale, reach through the ball of the foot. Now reach the heel up towards the ceiling. Inhale, lower down just a bit. And do that for 2 more breaths. Exhaling, lifting up. Inhaling, lowering down. Exhaling, lifting up. Feeling your right foot still on the floor and your left foot pressing up. From here, step back into plank. And move straight back into down dog. Come down to your knees and watch for 3-legged dog on a wall. For 3-legged dog on a wall, we're all familiar with 3-legged dog, which is where you're lifting one leg up in down dog. But for 3-legged dog on a wall, I'd like you to come into a down dog on the wall position. So your heels are right up against the wall, and I'm in down dog. From there, reach the left foot straight up, and gently press the ball of the foot in the direction of the wall. So let's do this together. Bring your heels straight up against the wall, and set up into a down dog. Reach the left leg up the wall, and curl your toes under the wall. Feel for gently pressing the right heel down. Inhale and feel for all of this power that you have stored in your core, being able to move now into your spot. Exhale, feel for gently pressing the ground away with your hands. Change sides. Lower the left leg down. Bring the left heel straight up against the wall, and then reach the right leg straight up the wall. Right toes are curled under. Feed yourself with your own strength, so that as you move forward, you don't actually have to collapse into old patterns. You can choose consciously where you're moving, what you have the strength to do right now. Come down out of the pose and walk forward into down dog. Warrior 1 camel. Inhale, step the left foot forward and come up into a warrior 1 position. Both arms straight up. Options for this are to bring the right hand down onto the right glute. Gently contract the right glute. And feel, as you inhale, telescope the ribs up. Keep the right glute contracted, and now bring both hands down onto the low back. Feel for gently tractioning the low back down towards the ground. Inhale, telescope your ribs up away from your hips. Exhale, draw shoulder blades towards one another, elbows towards one another behind the back. Inhale, continue to feel for lifting up away from the low back with your upper chest.
And exhale, feel if there's anywhere you can release some of the pressing in your legs. Now take one breath into your spot. And exhale, lower down for lunge with chest opener. Lower the right knee down to the mat. First option for lunge with chest opener is to simply clasp both hands behind the back. And inhale, telescope the ribs up. Exhale, draw shoulder blades towards one another and down the back. Slightly shift the hips forward. For phase 2, inhale, kick the right knee up and grab for the right ankle with one hand or both hands. Wherever you may be, inhale, telescope the ribs up. Exhale, kick back through the back leg. If your leg is down on the mat, kick your toes down into the ground, your toenails. Use this medicine of this pose to breathe into your spot. And change in any micro adjustments along the path to be more nourishing to yourself. Easy twisting lunge. Exhale, release the clasp of the hands. Lower the right knee down, right foot down. Set both knees back up at 90 degrees. Bring the right hand down right underneath your shoulder, and then walk your right hand about one hand's width to the right side. Line your shoulder up above the hand. Inhale, lift the left hand up. Exhale, draw shoulder blades away from the ears. Gently relax the right side of the neck. Right ear towards right shoulder. Lean your torso back. Reach back through the left hand. Uptake the medicine of this pose. Breathe that into your spot. And from here, hands come down to the mat. Press straight back into plank. And lower all the way down. For Sphinx with a block and a roll. For Sphinx with a block and a roll, place a block in between your ankles and place a rolled up blanket, towel, or yoga mat in between your thighs. And so once you've placed your block between your ankles, gently squeeze your ankles together, gently squeeze the hips together. Elbows are underneath shoulders, hands are out in front. And for this variation, most of the focus here is actually on my legs. So gently squeeze the feet into the block, and gently squeeze the upper part of the thigh in towards the roll. Tuck the tailbone down towards the mat, and inhale, feel for lifting with your belly, chest, collarbones all the way up. Draw shoulder blades down. Feel for ballooning your breath into your low back. Changing the position of your arms in any way that's going to help this feel more nourishing to your low back. And place hands underneath shoulders. Press straight back into down dog. Remove any props out of the way. And from here, Warrior One, inhale, step the right foot forward. Come up into Warrior One position for Warrior One with camel variation. Place left hand onto left glute. Gently squeeze the left glute. From here, place one or both hands onto the low back and gently traction the low back down. Inhale, feel for that breath filling you up from your belly all the way up to your collarbones, that slow 10-count breath. Exhale, gently shift your hips forward. Keep contracting the left glute. Just notice what can turn on and what maybe turns on too much. And if there's any too much in this pose for you, change it. Make it just enough.
Lunge with chest opener. Exhale, lower the left knee down. First phase is to clasp hands behind the back. Inhale, telescope the ribs up. Slowly tuck the tailbone forward, and exhale, draw shoulder blades towards one another. Reach up with the elbows. Second phase is to inhale and lift the left ankle off the ground, grabbing for it with one hand or both. Wherever you may be, inhale, feel for that breath filling you up from the belly all the way up to collarbones. Exhale, kick back with your back toes, either into the mat or away from your chest. If you have your ankle lifted, feel for dropping your hips down, shifting your right knee forward, gently pressing left knee down. Easy twisting lunge. Exhale, undo the clasp of your hands to lower the left ankle down. Reset in 90-90 position, both legs bent at 90 degrees. Left hand underneath left shoulder, and then step it one hand's width to the side. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, lean the torso back. Draw the right hip back, about 2 inches. Relax left ear towards left shoulder. There is medicine in slowing down. Because actually we do so much damage culturally in having to go so fast and expecting all of the answers all at once. And so right now, use your breath to just feed the edges around your spot, not needing anything from it. Exhale, both hands down to the mat, and step back into down dog. Lower down onto hands and knees, and watch me for down dog on a wall. For down dog on a wall, and remember, you can always have the option of dolphin on a wall, but I'll show you the setup, and they're essentially the same. For down dog on a wall, I will come into down dog position, my ankles right on the wall. And from there, step the feet up the wall, about 3 feet, aiming for getting my hips right above my chest. To come out of this position, step down the wall, 1 foot and then the other. If you're going to dolphin on a wall, you would set up in dolphin first, measuring the distance of your elbows, forearms down to the mat, and then same, you would step the feet about 3 feet up the wall for dolphin on the wall. Whichever position you choose, go ahead and set up with your ankles next to the wall. If you're in down dog on a wall, we'll be here or dolphin for only 5 breaths. So step 1 foot up the wall about 3 feet, and then the other foot. And if you notice any immediate turning on in your neck, your jaw, any struggle in your face, take a huge breath down into your belly, up through your collarbones. And gently just feel for relaxing and collapsing through those parts that are over-tensing. This should help turn on other muscles that are lying dormant that will actually, over time, help you be stronger here. Gently press the balls of your feet into the wall. Gently press as much of your hand down as you can. Feel how the earth is actually holding you up in this perfect position. Exhale, lower 1 foot down, and then the other. Move back into down dog. From here, inhale, step the left foot forward to come up into a warrior 2 position. And you'll need a strap for this. Grab onto your strap with your left hand. Inhale, left hand straight up. And exhale, swoop the right hand behind the back and up the back as much as you can. Bend the left elbow and grab either for strap or one hand clasping on the other. Inhale, feel for that breath filling you up. for a count of 10. From your belly up to your collarbones. Exhale, draw the right shoulder down the back. As you lift the left elbow up. Use the opening in this pose to feel into the nourishment you are inviting in as you're opening to more movement nutrition, maybe moving in ways that you haven't. Know that there's always medicine there. Extended warrior variation. Keep your strap in your left hand and lower the left elbow down onto left thigh. For this variation, right hand stays behind the low back, grabbing for clothing, your waistband, or for the left thigh. Inhale, telescope your ribs up away from the hips. Exhale, gently relax left ear towards left shoulder. Feel for the opening that will be present in your right collarbone, right side of neck and jaw. Lean your torso back. Feel for washing your breath through these tight areas so that your strong legs can actually be what's holding you up as you move forward. Instead of holding all of your anxiety and worries and all of the tightness from last year up in your neck and your head, move down into your body a little bit more. Warrior interlock. From here, inhale the right arm straight up, and exhale, swoop the left hand underneath the left leg, and grab onto the strap behind your back with right hand or clasp hands. Wherever you may be, continue to feel for leaning the torso back and revolving the upper and outer edge of the right shoulder up and down. Continue to relax left ear towards left shoulder. Close your eyes. Feel for balancing. From here, undo the clasp of your hands and press back into plank and come all the way down to the mat. For cobra push-ups with a roll. For cobra push-ups with a roll, you'll need your rolled up blanket or mat. And this is actually too thick for me. So you'll want it to be a thickness where it can be right underneath your rib cage and above your pubic bone. So where we're aiming for is in this area here, not on my ribs, not down on the bones of my hips, but in that sweet spot in between. And this actually helps us tap into different Marma points that are associated with Pitta dosha. So as we move into the spring, we can also get some things moving down here so that you can kind of flush out some of what our heat is helping to melt away. So for cobra push-ups over the roll, lay down over the roll, with the roll right in between that sweet spot in your belly, in between the soft tissue there. Elbows are underneath shoulders. Inhale, balloon your breath down into your belly to then feel for that lifting your torso up. Tuck the toes down. Exhale, draw chest forward to come down. Go for 5, so 4 more. Inhale, inflate the belly and let that lift you up. Elbows lift up off the ground, about 2 inches. Exhale, come forward to come down. 3 more with your own breath. Close your eyes and go into the feeling. For what are you letting go of? What are you flushing? Or what are you holding onto so tightly, perhaps out of fear, that you won't be able to make it on the other side? Because as you can turn up your own fire, you can also turn up the fire of your spirit. Finish up and roll down all the way, chest down onto the mat. Relax one cheek to one side. Inhale, balloon your breath down into the roll. Exhale, feel for collapsing around it, letting it be medicine working with your breath. Notice if your mind here has sped up or if something in you has slowed down. Place hands underneath shoulders and press back into down dog. Remove the roll and have your strap nearby.
Warrior 2 with archer arms. Inhale, step the right foot forward and come up to a warrior 2 position. Strap is in the right hand. Inhale the right arm straight up. Exhale, bend the right elbow. Right hand is on the upper back. Swoop the left hand up the low back, all the way to the upper back, perhaps clasping hands or grabbing onto the strap. Inhale, feel for ballooning breath through the belly up into your chest. Exhale, reach the right armpit straight up as you reach the left elbow down. Inhale and wash your breath into your spot as you press through the outer edges of your feet. The outer edges of our feet help us to feel our back muscles turn on, to feel how strong we are all throughout our body. Extended warrior variation. Bring the right elbow down onto the right thigh. Left hand swoops behind the back, grabbing for clothing, waistband, or for a right thigh. Relax the right ear towards the right shoulder. Inhale and press through the right elbow to lift the right side of the chest away from the thigh. Exhale, feel for leaning left shoulder and torso back. Use your breath now skillfully to wash through the left side of your neck. Gently tuck the tailbone forward. And feel for if there's anywhere in your legs that you're doing too much. How might you change where you're pressing in your feet, inner edge, outer edge, front or back, to actually change what you're experiencing? Warrior interlock. Drop the outer edge of the right arm down on the inner edge of the right thigh. Reach the right hand behind the low back and grab for the strap or for your hands with the left hand. Inhale, revolve the left side of chest up and away from the floor. Exhale, draw left shoulder blade down the back. Relax right ear towards right shoulder. Use your huge breath to nourish yourself in this pose that is very challenging, where your legs might be screaming at you, and choose to stay for 2 more breaths. Exhale, undo the clasp of the strap. Press straight back into down dog. Down dog splits on a wall. For down dog splits on a wall, or dolphin splits on a wall, come up to the wall, heels are on the wall, and press up into a down dog position. Step your feet about 3 feet up the wall, and for down dog splits, inhale, lift the left leg straight up towards the ceiling. You may also move in a splits position or keep with your left leg straight up towards the ceiling. Wherever you are, stay on each side for 5 breaths. Feel for where do you not have to press so hard. Can you let go in the back teeth or your face, your forehead? Go ahead and change sides. Bring the left foot to the wall. Step the right foot straight up, maybe even moving into splits. Can you still take that 10 count breath even when you're in a challenging position? Because the more you can practice taking that deep centering breath, the more that you can walk that beyond your mat out into the world in any challenging position. Go ahead and step right foot down, left foot all the way down to the mat. Press into down dog. Feel what's changed in your fire. Can you feel your own heat that you have generated? And know that this is the same fire, the same processing power, the same Agni that will help you move through whatever challenges you have. Arrow lunge. Inhale, step the left foot forward. Exhale, lower right knee down.
To set up for arrow lunge, move the right toes back a little further. First option is to have hands on the left knee, hands onto the hips, or if you're feeling for a challenge in elevating your energy, hands straight up. For arrow lunge, press the top of the right foot down into the ground. Press through the left heel to lift the hips up off the ground. Right knee comes off the ground. If you're feeling for any trembling or wobbling, we'll practice 2 lion's breaths here. So take a huge inhale and exhale lion's breath. Practice 1 more like that. Inhale into your spot and exhale, clean out whatever's stuck. Lower the right knee down. Nomad's pose. Shift the hips back. Keep the toes pointed of the left foot. Inhale, flex the toes back towards the shin. Draw left hip back. Press the left heel down gently. Inhale, point the left toes. Exhale, draw toes towards the shin. Draw left hip back. Inhale, point the toes. Exhale, draw toes back. Inhale, point the toes. Exhale, toes still pointed. Inhale, flex the toes back towards the shin. Exhale, point the toes. Inhale, flex toes back. Exhale, point the toes. Inhale, flex toes back, draw left hip back, gently press left heel into the ground. Inhale. Shift the hips forward for lunge back bend with the strap. For lunge back bend with the strap, grab for a strap, place it around the right ankle. The first phase of this is simply to tuck the back toes under. For the first phase, you can also have hands on low back and simply shift the hips forward. And this may already be enough of a back bend for you today. For back bend with the strap, inhale, lift the right ankle off the ground and walk your hands down the strap. Inhale, telescope your ribs up, inflating from your belly up through your collarbones. Exhale, reach the right hands up, right elbows straight up to the ceiling. Curl the tailbone forward. Feel for that slow, deep breath into your spot, using the heat you've generated and the heat in this pose to change things up. Exhale, release the strap, release the leg. Press straight back into down dog. Move through plank and then come all the way down through chaturanga or modified chaturanga. For bow on the roll, one arm, one leg. So you can watch me for this, and then we'll do it together. For this, I'm setting my blanket back up, my rolled up mat, blanket, or towel, once again underneath my tender spot in my belly. So once that is set up, I'll come first into a cobra position, and then inhale, lifting up into cobra, bending one leg, reaching back for it. So this is how we get into bow, one leg, one arm. So set up for cobra over a roll, setting your roll up mat, blanket, or towel onto the mat, underneath your low belly. Inhale, balloon your breath down into the mat to lift your torso up. Bend the left knee and reach back for the left knee with the left hand. Inhale, balloon your breath down in towards the rolled up mat. Exhale, kick back through the left ankle. Feel for keeping your torso parallel with the front edge of the mat. Exhale, release the left ankle. Come all the way down. Inhale, balloon your breath down into the rolled up mat to come up into cobra. Bend the right ankle, right knee. Reach back for the right ankle with the right hand. Inhale, telescope the ribs up as you press into the mat with your belly. Exhale, kick through the right ankle. Send your breath into your spot here, feeling your commitment to opening your heart as you move forward on this path, as a healer, as a teacher. Exhale, release the ankle, come all the way down. Relax your opposite cheek down onto the mat. Feel for what the rolled up blanket or mat is able to move inside of you. And know that sometimes there's a lot of discomfort in letting go, in taking that risk, taking that next step. And there can actually be a lot in the way of us trusting our gut. From here, press straight back into down dog, removing the rolled up blanket or mat. Arrow lunge. Inhale, step the right foot forward between the hands. Exhale, lower left knee down. Send the left toes back, setting hands up onto right knee, onto hips, or arms straight up. Press the top of the left foot down and lift the left knee up off the ground. Huge breath into your belly, up to your collarbones. Exhale, press both feet down into the ground. Lift your hips up 1 or 2 inches. 2 lion's breaths here, feeling for washing out anything that is too stuck. You can be the one to move it out. Huge inhale, lion's breath. Another big inhale, lion's breath. Lower the left knee down. For nomad's pose. Shift the right hips back. Point the toes of the right foot. Inhale, flex right toes back towards the shin. Exhale, point the right toes down towards the mat. Inhale, flex toes back towards shin. Press the right heel down gently. And point the toes. Exhale, flex toes back. Inhale, point the toes. And exhale here. And now inhale, flex toes back. Exhale, point the toes. Inhale, flex toes back. Exhale, point the toes. Inhale, flex back. Exhale, point the toes. Lunge, back bend with the strap. Shift your hips forward. First phase is to just simply tuck the left toes under, hands on the hips, and inhale, feeling for back bend. Second phase would be having strap around the left ankle. Inhale, lifting bent knee, bending the left knee, reaching for the strap with your hands. Inhale, feeling for lifting in your armpits. Exhale, lifting elbows and armpits up, lifting through the hands. Feeling for shifting right knee forwards, collapsing the hips down. Feeling for those points where you are contacting the earth. And how those points of contact with the earth on your next inhale allow you to use the force of the earth to move upwards and open further. Now skillfully send your next breath into your spot. Exhale, release the strap, bend the left knee. Remove the strap off to one side for bow over a roll with both arms, both legs. Set up your rolled up blanket or mat onto the ground. And set it up where it can go right in between your belly's tissues. Once you have that set up, come into a cobra position. Inhale, balloon your belly into the roll. And come up into cobra. Bend one knee, reaching for it with the hand, and then bend the other. Inhale and balloon your belly down into the roll. Exhale, tuck your tailbone down and feel how that naturally brings lift. Inhale and send your breath right into the roll. Exhale, kick through your heels. Draw shoulders towards one another. Shoulder blades down the back. Take a huge breath into the front of your chest. Exhale, collapse a little bit in your torso. Take one breath into your spot. Exhale through your mouth, undo one leg. And then undo the other. Take a breath inwards here. Exhale, come down over the roll once again. If you'd like to practice a lion's breath here, or a huge sigh out of your mouth, to feel for everything that you have moved through your own practice, through you, to move out of you, to make space for something new. From here, press back on hands and knees, and roll up your blanket. Place that off to one side. Where we're headed is somewhere where you have different options. So one option will be handstand star chakra. For handstand star chakra, I would come and set up. So instead of with down dog where my feet are actually towards the wall, here we're actually going to use the wall to catch us in handstand. So I'd set up in down dog. Inhale, lift one leg up. Exhale, kick over. And so as you can see, I'm supported by the wall. And for star chakra, I bend one knee towards my belly. Bend the other knee. So for star chakra, you would have both knees bent about 90 degrees. And in this way, you're actually able to lift through the hips, lift through the glutes, and create different lines of energy to hold you up. And you'd practice 5 breaths on either side. So if that is your option, go for that option. If you'd like a different option, what you can do is come down into down dog and watch me for this. Down dog on a wall or dolphin on a wall. And step up into down dog and actually straighten one leg up. Exhale, feel for bending the top leg. I'll then bend front knee, one that's on the wall. And so in this way, I'm still feeling where I can play around with a little bit. That same bend, and just maybe a little less scary. So, set up for star chakra, or any of the past options we've done. Maybe you're trying forearm balance on a wall. Maybe you're trying 3-legged dog on a wall. Whatever it is, set up for your final inversion. Today you're really warm and you're really strong from this practice, so go ahead and set up for that. So if moving the star chakra handstand, set up about a shin's distance away, or a little further, away from the wall. Inhale, one leg kicks up. Exhale, kick it back towards the wall. Let the wall catch you. Bend one knee towards the chest, then bend the other knee. Even having your toes just barely touching the wall. Wherever you've chosen, feel for that long, deep breath into your belly, lifting your core up, lifting your glutes up away from your ribs. And exhale, gently press through the hands. Change sides. Feel for relaxing your face, your neck, your shoulders. Trust that the ground will hold you. And when ready to come out, kick one leg down, and then the other. Very good. From here, we'll move into dancer on a wall. So you can either move into dancer with the strap, or you can follow me for dancer on a wall. So for dancer on a wall with the strap, I'll set up with the strap around my right ankle. And so for normal dancer position, when I'm not on a wall, I'm kicking my leg up
and reaching for it. What we'll be doing is actually coming up to a wall for a little more stability. So you can, just as we were taking away some compensators earlier in our practice, we'll actually take away a bit of that wobble so that you can feel for more opening now that your back is really warmed up and open. So setting up close to a wall, lifting the right heel up, bending right knee, reaching for the strap with my hand. And ideally, the left shoulder and even the left bicep, tricep, is along the wall. Inhale and feel for ballooning the breath into the belly, up into the collarbones. Exhale, feel for kicking back into the strap and lifting hands and elbows up. Know that you can move away from the wall or continue to have the wall there as your support. Once you've practiced 5 breaths, change sides. So you'd set the strap up on the left side, and then set the right side of your body up against the wall, bending the left knee, drawing hands towards the bent leg and towards the strap. Inhaling, feeling for that traction, motion of your legs down towards the ground. That then allows you on your next inhale to lift up from your low back. Continue to kick through the strap. And on your next breath, exhale, come all the way down. Replace the strap off onto one side for neck release. So come to a seated position. Actually, half-seated spinal twist with neck release. So for half lotus seated spinal twist with neck release, set the left foot into half lotus position. And if this is too much for you in half lotus, you can also just have legs in a cross position. Setting up in half lotus seated spinal twist, bring left hand onto right knee. Right hand onto left knee. Inhale, swoop the left hand around the back, grabbing for clothing, waistband, or for the foot. Inhale, telescope the ribs up. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, feel for getting as much breath circumferentially expanding both sides of your ribs as possible. For continuing to focus on that ballooning of your breath down into your belly, up into your collarbones. Neck release. Keep your torso where it is and simply relax the right ear towards the right shoulder. Feeling for whatever just opened in your left side of your neck, up through your jaw and your collarbone. Lip glide, jaw slide. Lick your lips. And very slowly move your jaw from side to side, having your lips roll across one another. Lift the right hand off of the left knee and place the right hand on the right side of face. To come out of the pose, inhale, lift the head up and undo the twist. Change sides. Bring the right ankle into half lotus or sit in a natural cross position. Wherever you are, place left hand onto right knee and right hand swoops around the low back, grabbing for clothing, waistband, or for the foot. Inhale, telescope the ribs up away from the hips. Exhale, twist the torso to the right. Draw shoulder blades down away from the ears. Inhale and feel for your breath expanding around the base of your ribs. Feel for expanding both sides of your ribs equally. Exhale, feel for softening anywhere that you are excessively pushing. you're going excessively tight. Neck release. Inhale, telescope the crown of your head upwards. Exhale, relax left ear towards left shoulder. Inhale and balloon your breath across the right side of your upper chest and collarbones. Lean the back of the head back slightly. Lip guard jaw slide. Lick your lips. Slowly glide your jaw from side to side. To come out of the pose, lift the left hand off of the right knee, place it onto left side of face. Inhale, head up through center, undo this cross. So, we'll now need to have a block close by and a rolled up blanket. So, because we are working with a lot of back bends, it's actually quite important to come back to strengthening the core so we don't lose functional integrity of having had the core so open. So this kind of helps it open and stretch and then come back to a solid place where it should be. So, place yourself up against the wall once again, with knees bent 90 degrees, and then shift your hips back away from the wall about 2 or 3 inches. So once again, your legs are not at 90 degrees. Place a rolled up blanket in between your thighs at the height of the pubic bone, and give it a gentle squeeze. Clasp hands behind the head for 3-part twisting abs with a roll on the wall. Inhale, curl head and shoulders up. Hold the breath, press the low back down. Gently squeeze the roll. Gently press feet into the wall. Exhale, reach elbows up towards the ceiling. Pull belly muscles down. Inhale, relax the head down just a bit. Hold the breath. Press the low back into the ground, squeeze the roll gently. Exhale, send both elbows towards the left knee, pull belly muscles down. Inhale, head and shoulders back through center. Hold the breath. Press the low back into the ground. Squeeze the roll gently. Exhale, send both elbows towards the right knee, pull belly muscles down. Inhale, head and shoulders back through center. Hold the breath. Press the low back down. Exhale, send both armpits straight up towards the ceiling. Curl tailbone up slightly. Pull belly muscles down. Release the pelvis. Inhale, spread low back onto the floor. Exhale, send both elbows towards the left knee. Pull belly muscles down. Inhale, head and shoulders back to center. Hold the breath. Press the low back down. Exhale, gently point both elbows in the direction of right knee. Pull belly muscles down. Inhale, head and shoulders back through center. Hold the breath. Press the low back down. Squeeze the roll slightly. Gentle curl of the tailbone up towards the ceiling. Exhale, send both armpits straight up towards the ceiling. Pull belly muscles down. Inhale, relax head and shoulders down just a bit. Hold the breath. Gentle squeeze of the roll. Exhale, point both elbows in the direction of the left knee. Pull belly muscles down. Give the roll a gentle second squeeze. Continue to pull belly muscles down. Inhale, head and shoulders back through center. Hold the breath. Press the low back into the ground. Give the roll a gentle squeeze. Exhale, point both elbows in the direction of the right knee. Pull belly muscles down. Give the roll a second squeeze. Exhale, continue to pull belly muscles down. Inhale, head and shoulders back through center. Exhale, lower head down, lower feet down. Bridge on a block and a roll. So this is a version of a supported bridge. So bring yourself back with knees where they could be bent 90 degrees, feet on the wall. From here, you'll actually lift the hips up to place your sacrum on top of the lowest setting of the block. And once you're there, that should feel quite good. Your second stage is going to be grabbing your rolled up blanket, and it can be at whatever height feels good for you. For me today,
it actually does feel quite good to have my blanket right underneath the block, right above the block at the fullest width of it. And then relax the pelvis down. Relax the arms towards the side. Close your eyes. Feel for how much you have moved out and through your body, out through your breath, with your practice today. Send gentle, kind breaths down around the edges of your spot. Feel for exhaling through the mouth with a sigh. The work of spring cleaning, the spring cleanse, is about getting your fire back to where it can be. So instead of having to hold on, to brace for impact, there's actually a gentle opening that happens. A gentle budding of flowers, of trees, of animals coming back out of hiding. And we are also animals. Spring is the most powerful time for us to embrace ways that we can come out. Come out of the ways we've hidden ourselves. We've hidden parts of ourselves away. Bring your feet down, back onto the ground. Stop here for a moment. Send your breath down into your low back. Exhale, gently press through your feet to lift your hips up off the blanket and remove the blanket and the block. Exhale, slowly curl upper, middle, lower back, and sacrum all the way down to the mat. And from here, set up for Shavasana. So extending out, extending the legs. If you'd like to continue to elevate yourself, you can have palms facing up. And if you feel in this moment the need to continue to ground, or even just the desire to reconnect to the earth, you can place palms facing you down. Reconnect to your breath. And very likely, the quality of your breath right now can feel renewed, refreshed, or even like you can breathe again. As you inhale, feel for filling yourself up with air. From the belly all the way up to your collarbones. And on your exhale, how you can just do nothing. Let go a little. And as you let go into the weight of the earth, you feel the heaviness of the earth pressing back into you.
just as there is a downward current pulled by gravity, very much the energy of Kapha accumulating as it moves downwards. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. So just as gravity presses down, there is a natural counterbalance of energy moving up. Notice right now how light you can feel in your body. How effortless it can be just to breathe here. How you can easily hold any emotion that wants to move through you right now. Use your breath to direct that energy, that emotion into your heart. Where it can be purified and held with loving arms. A spring cleanse is a lot about trust. It's not so much being the enemy of anything that was. Because everything that was helped us to get where we are. It's about trust and about hope. Because it is actually based upon the belief that if we can let some things go from the past, we have the direct capacity to pick new things up. Breathe hope into your heart. Trust whatever is coming your way. You're allowed to leave behind thinking that you already need to have all the answers. That you already need to be healed. Or that that healing needs to look a certain way. Feel light. Feel how free of that you can be right now. If there's any pleasure in this pose, any joy of just laying here, having nowhere to go, breathe that in. Pay attention to that. Uptaking your joy is a skill. And as you progress, as you move forward in this year, may it be a skill you come back to again and again. Start to wiggle hands and fingers, toes and ankles. Bend your knees, place the feet on the floor. Roll off onto either side. And know that part of what you have been searching to hold on to is sweetness. hold yourself with that same sweetness for just a moment longer here. You have the time. There's always time to be with yourself. Now press the hands firmly into the ground to come up with a relaxed neck. Use one hand to lift your head back up. It's in a seated position. Bring your hands to meet in front of your heart. If you want to go fast, go ahead. If you'd like to go far, let's go together. Namaste.